back to the Wisdom by Harry YouTube channel. My name is Harry.
And I'm Mary. We're so excited to have you here today for another fascinating episode.
Okay, so Elon Musk. Right. Busy Monday for him and all his company.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you've got the X outages everyone's talking about, and Tesla's stock really took a tumble.
A tumble is right. 15% down. Yikes. And we can't forget about that SpaceX rocket. Just blew up last week.
Yeah, not a great week for rockets.
So we're going to do a deep dive today into all of that. Look at these news articles, all from March 10th and 11th, 2025.
See if we can connect the dots,
Exactly. Because we know you're out there listening to this, trying to make sense of all these headlines and figure out what it all means.
Yeah, what's the bigger picture here?
Right. So let's just jump right in with these X outages.
Okay, so Monday morning, tons of people can't get on X.
It seems like it started, before 6 a.m. Eastern time?
Yeah, early morning, and then it just kept getting worse, around 10 a.m. and then again at 11.
And Down Detector showed 41,000 outages at its peak?
Something like that, yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Huge chunk of the platform, just dark.
And then Musk jumps in and says, oh, this is a massive cyber attack from Ukraine.
Tells that to Larry Kudlow on Fox News, puts it out on X too.
Bold statement, right. To blame a whole country like that.
Right. And you know what's interesting?
What is that?
No evidence. It doesn't say anywhere in these reports that he actually showed any proof.
Huh. Interesting. So, hold on. We have this hacking group. Dark Storm, is it?
Yeah. They come out basically at the same time and say, yeah, we did it.
Telegram, right?
Telegram, that's their platform. And you know how these things work.
Yeah, they can make it look like the attack came from anywhere, right?
Exactly. IP addresses, spoofing, all that. Super hard to trace.
So it's who do you believe?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? It could be Ukraine, could be Dark Storm, could be someone trying to make it look like one of them. Who knows?
But this isn't even the first time something like this has happened, right?
You're thinking of that Trump audio conversation thing?
Yeah, I remember that.
Cut out, Musk said cyber attack. No proof then either.
And what I find weird is, no one's saying anything officially from X.
Yeah, all these reporters trying to get a comment from X, from Musk, nothing.
Crickets. And even the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, they just say, talk to X, basically.
They punch it right back.
So it's what's going on over there?
It's a black box, for sure.
Okay, so X is a mess, but then there's Tesla.
Oh yeah, not a good day for Tesla stock on Monday.
Down 15%, biggest drop since, was it 2020?
Yeah, 2020. And think about this, it wiped out all the gains since after the election.
So much for that post-election bump, huh?
Gone poof. And it looks like there are a few things feeding into this, this worry.
Like what?
Well, first off, electric vehicle sales, they're down.
Yeah, but that's happening across the board, right?
It is. But look at Germany, down 76% in February, year over year.
76? Wow.
Yeah, and Germany, they're like a bellwether for the European car market.
What does that mean, bellwether?
Means they kind of show what's going to happen with everyone else.
Ah, I see. So if Germany's down that much, it's not looking good for anyone.
Exactly. Not a good sign. And then there's this other thing.
Hit me with it.
These reports call them politically driven protests against Tesla.
Okay, protests. That sounds a little vague.
Well, it's more than just, people holding signs.
Okay.
It's getting scary.
What are we talking about here?
Shots fired at a dealership in Oregon. Arson at charging stations in Boston.
Whoa.
Yeah, and arrests at a dealership in Lower Manhattan. And then there are Tesla owners themselves saying they're being targeted, cars getting vandalized, that kind of thing.
Man, that's intense. And what's Musk saying about all this?
Well, he's blaming, liberal activists, even named George Soros.
Oh, wow. And we know Trump's chiming in, too.
Oh, yeah, saying there's a radical left boycott of Tesla going on, trying to hurt Musk.
So it's like a blame game, everyone pointing fingers.
A bit, yeah. But here's the thing about the stock drop.
Yeah.
It's not just a one-day thing. Tesla's actually been falling since mid-December.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 54% down since that peak after the election.
So Monday was just a really bad day on top of a bad few months.
Exactly. And, with Tesla, it's always been about more than just selling cars.
Right, all that future tech, self-driving taxis, robots, right?
Yeah, the moonshot stuff, and that's been baked into the stock price, all that potential.
Okay, so what you're saying is investors are maybe getting nervous.
Maybe. They're thinking, okay, how real is this future stuff? And can Musk actually pull it off, with everything else he's got going on?
Right, because he's got his hands full.
For sure. Remember back in January, Musk said Tesla could be worth more than the 5 biggest tech companies combined.
I vaguely remember that.
Well, right now they're at 5% of that.
Oof. So there's a disconnect there between the hype and the reality.
Exactly. And for you, the listener, the takeaway here is maybe the market is finally waking up to that.
Okay, so Tesla is having its own issues. Then there's SpaceX with that whole rocket explosion.
Oh yeah, that happened just last week in Florida. Showered debris all over the place.
And Musk, I swear, he just shrugs it off.
What'd he say? Rockets are hard.
Something like that. Called it a minor setback. Said they'd be back up in 4 to 6 weeks.
Always the optimist, right? But don't forget, the FAA is still investigating.
Oh, right. They're the ones who have to give the okay for launches, right?
Exactly. So even if Musk thinks it's no big deal, the FAA might not agree.
Makes sense.
Mm.
So we've got X in chaos, Tesla stock tanking, SpaceX blowing up rockets, and in the middle of all this, Musk is spending more and more time in Washington.
Oh yeah, advising President Trump.
On that Department of Government Efficiency thing, right?
That's the one, trying to cut costs in the government, make it all more efficient.
Which, sounds great on paper, but
Yeah.
how's he supposed to run all these companies and be a government advisor at the same time?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not like any of these are, 9-to-5 jobs.
Right, running a global company, let alone 3 of them, plus advising the president. Come on.
Definitely raises some eyebrows. And there was that cabinet meeting, right?
Oh yeah, where Trump basically said, hey Musk, you're just an advisor.
Apparently it got a little heated. Trump had to put his foot down.
So even Trump's maybe having second thoughts about how much power to give him?
Maybe. And then you have Musk himself in that Fox interview saying he runs his companies with great difficulty while working for the administration.
So he's admitting it's a struggle.
Yeah, and then, right on cue, Trump comes out and says he's buying a new Tesla.
Publicly, on Truth Social, right? Show of confidence and support, he called it.
That's right, even doubled down on the whole radical left boycott thing.
And Musk said, thank you, on X.
Of course he did. It's like a little, back and forth.
Totally. But it's interesting, right? Because remember, after the election, everyone thought Musk being buddy-buddy with Trump would be great for Tesla.
Oh yeah, deregulation, no more subsidies for competitors, all that.
But now it's like, maybe not so much.
The reports say things are somewhat different now.
Yeah, sales are down, protests are getting crazy. Maybe that Trump connection isn't the magic bullet everyone thought it would be.
Maybe not. So here we are.
X is a mess, Tesla's in trouble, SpaceX is having rocket problems, and Musk is splitting his time between running his companies and playing politics.
It's a lot. It's like everything's happening at once.
So the question is, what's the biggest problem here?
Right, what's the root of all this?
Is it all these outside forces like the competition and the protests that are hurting Musk's companies?
Could be, yeah.
Or is it something internal like SpaceX can't stop blowing up rockets and X can't keep the lights on?
Yeah, maybe they're just not running things well enough.
Or is it Musk himself? Is he spreading himself too thin, trying to do too much, and losing focus?
That's a tough one, right? Because he's so involved in all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for you listening out there, think about that. What do you think is the biggest factor here? What's really dragging Musk and his companies down? It's a complex situation and there's no easy answer, that's for sure.
Definitely something to ponder.